I look back at my musical journey, and one thing that has stayed consistent is the inconsistency of my musical taste. I was first inspired to pick up guitar by Blink-182 and the pop-punk movement of the early 2000s. From there, I discovered classic rock, which led me to the blues. During my music degree, I dove headfirst into jazz. When I entered the professional world, I worked mainly in country music. Studying all these different genres has made me the musician I am today, and that's what I want to discuss, the power of musical diversity. Nothing about this message is all that cutting edge. Many have said it before, but even so, it's important and I believe it's worth repeating. It's easy to surround ourselves with people who share similar views. It's nice to have our opinions reinforced even if they're ill-informed. I've found myself confronted with the reality numerous times in life that something I believe deeply in may be intrinsically flawed. For a while, I wrote off pop music. I thought it was below my superior musical intelligence. I'm glad I got over that because there are elements of that genre I find myself applying in every song I make. Pop music can teach us the craft of hooking in a listener and keeping their attention for 2 to 3 minutes. And trust me, there is skill in that art. When I hear people saying they could write a better country song than what's on the radio, I silently roll my eyes and mutter under my breath, try it and get back to me with the results. Lyrically, the genre is built on the concept of saying something everyone can understand in a way no one has said it before. It seems simple until you realize how truly hard it is, and mastering it can apply to whatever music you make. At the same time, there is some generic trash out there, but if you haven't found the good stuff, you haven't looked hard enough. Do yourself a favor, expose yourself to different musics and, more importantly, the people who are passionate about these genres. Let the love of music be something that can bring us together. People with a deep shared passion of this art are rare, and there are peers regardless of the specifics. Now, I'm not saying you can't have favorites, that would be crazy, and I'm not saying there can't be things you don't enjoy. But it's sad knowing that there are people out there, I used to be one of them, who only listen to one type of music, who've closed their ears off to the rest. Especially since musical evolution almost never happens in a bubble. Jazz was born from the diverse musical cultures mixing together in New Orleans. Rock and roll was the child of blues, skiffle, country, among others. It really pays to seek diversity in our teachers and co-workers as well. I've been fortunate enough to have studied, played, and worked with a number of exceptional talents. A big takeaway was that each one of these musicians has a totally different approach to what they do. No one way is right or wrong, but the more ways we look at a problem, the closer we come to solving it. So don't just watch my videos, find as many differing opinions as you can. There's qualified professionals out there who may tell you the opposite of what I say. Figure out which works best for you. A principle that I believe in is that you don't truly have an informed opinion on something unless you can argue it from both sides. Very rarely are issues black and white. Understanding others leads us to a middle ground where we can both agree. Take, for example, the guy out there who says learning musical theory is a detriment. He would argue that learning rules and regulations can only hinder creativity. I would say that he's dead wrong, and music theory does nothing of the sort. Rather, it tells us certain expectations that we are by no means confined by. By knowing them, we get to focus our time on making creative decisions instead of guessing how something might sound. The middle ground him and I could find is that musical theory can be limiting if we don't know how to apply it. When I go to teach musical theory now, I try to put as much emphasis on the use and philosophy behind it as I do the theory itself. I feel like I became a better person and musician when I decided to put down my ego and embrace the fact that I can be wrong. Opinions can be fluid and need not define us. Changing them should not be a sign of weakness. I also became happier when I decided that if a song sounds good to me, I'm gonna enjoy it no matter who the artist is. Let that be a lesson to all those self-hating Taylor Swift fans out there. You don't fool me. On that theme, why don't you leave me a comment and let me know who your guilty musical pleasure is. Wear it on your sleeve, share it with the world. This vlogging series has become my ramblings on various stuff, and it's especially cool to me that people like you find it interesting. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I put out 2 new videos every week. Stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. I'm Samurai Guitarist, and I will see you again soon.